It's okay to not be the smartest person in the room. I know that sounds really bad, but I don't know how else to say it, teachers. I mean, like, think about this, right? It's like, look, if you're teaching the class, there should be no one else in that class, right? No student in that class that should know more about sociology than you do, right? The thing is that after years and years of doing that and being the person that knows everything, well, not everything, but sociology in that room, it can kind of mess with your mind after a bit. And that's what happened to me. Like, for real, it's like I started losing focus of what it meant to be a learner. Right? It's like to be a learner, a real, true, honest to goodness learner, right? Is that I've been in the captain's chair for a long time, um, for 15 years and whatnot. I've been in the captain's chair, and it's like, man, what does it mean to learn? Like, really learn. And so with this coaching gig, I'm telling you, I'm surrounded by geniuses. These guys are football geniuses, and I feel intimidated. I mean, the funny thing is that I'm sure that a few of them feel, like before they got to know me, they would say that they were intimidated of me because, I'm literally Dr. Bruce Hoskins and all of this stuff. And when they found that out, there's always just kind of like, oh, like, ooh, and it's a little awkward, but, people get over it. We got a job to do, all of this stuff, right? But I'm telling you, I was intimidated by them. I still continue to be intimidated by them, but I had to learn. I really had to honestly learn how to sit down and shut up and just listen to people talking a mile a minute about something that I barely understood. And that was really humbling for me. I mean, I'm being dead serious. Like, I thought I knew football before I walked into that room in a room full of dudes who really knew football. I had started both ways when I was in high school. I was the offensive and defensive lineman. And so I was like, look, I thought I knew something about the game, but look, I understood being a player, but I didn't know how much you had to know when you were a coach, right? And so, it's like as a player, you only have to know your one position. As a coach, you have to know all the positions and how they're all working together, right? And so those are the kind of things, right, that I was sitting there and feeling really intimidated, feeling really awkward, didn't want to ask a question because I felt any question that I asked was going to be stupid, like, what's a cover two? What's a cover three? Why do we always blitz on stuff? Why are we doing this versus this? It's like, all of these questions, I just thought, man, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet and try to absorb as much as I can, realizing that they're not there to really teach me. They're there to talk amongst themselves and to be brilliant amongst themselves. And hopefully some of that kind of washes off over on me, right? And amazingly, I mean, look, I can't learn. I have my PhD, but that doesn't really mean I can learn anyway. But I can learn, and I did, and I started piecing some things together. I'm still confused about a lot of stuff, but it's like I started piecing some things together, started making things simpler in my mind. Now I know what certain words mean, like curl and flat and deep thirds and and stuff, which means nothing to the average everyday person, but in football, those things mean something. I didn't know what those were. I literally didn't know what those were because I was an offensive defensive line. I never had to worry about stuff like that. But the game is starting to slow down for me. The way that they're talking is starting to slow down for me because I was able to piece little things together. I didn't interrupt any of their conversations with any of my questions because I knew that they were not talking or they weren't talking to me. And yet at the same time, like I said, it was really humbling to be in a space where I really was the least. I had the lowest football IQ. I still have the lowest football IQ in that room, and it's really humbling to really be in that space, especially after being a teacher for so long, right? I mean, for real, think about that, right? That especially as being a teacher for so long and being the one that the students are asking the questions to, and that you're in command, you're in control, the answers, especially for your discipline and all of this stuff, and then to go down to absolute zero, where you have to ask all the questions. It really reminded me on how intimidating this learning process can be for folks, right? I mean, for real, like this is something that's really intimidating. And what can we do, right? What can we do in order to learn the most that we can when we're sitting in these situations. Like I said, one for me, the most important thing was to realize that when they were talking to each other, they were not talking to me. And that, like I said, that was a really humbling thing because I'm used to. I mean, in the classroom, I'm the center of attention, right? And so it's like I said, and this all sounds like ego, but this is just real, honest critique, of the space, and just going, okay, they're not talking to me, and I will figure out slowly but surely what they're talking about. It's just now is not the time or the place to ask any questions about this. And as time progressed, I've gotten better. I learned more concepts and more details, and which makes the conversation slow down for me. But at the same time, I'm still searching. I'm still wondering. I'm still and which is a good thing. Which is honestly is one of the most refreshing, most invigorating things that's happened to me in a long time, folks. Really, honestly, being in a learner's position versus in a teaching position. And really, and understanding I'm still the teacher at my job, but here, big time learner, right? Big time learner. I know on the field I'm a coach, and coaching and teaching are not necessarily the same things, but it's just helped me so much to really put myself in a position of being a true learner. So for all the teachers out there, I really want to encourage you to get into a space where you truly have to learn, right? Not you kind of learn or whatever. It's like, no, you are truly the bottom rung on the ladder. You are truly someone who has very limited, if any, knowledge at all in this space, and to build yourself up from there, as long as you're interested in it, right? Because it will so refocus what does it mean for you to be a teacher, and what does it mean for your students to learn from you. Trust me on this one, folks. It is absolutely priceless to be around all these brilliant people doing brilliant things, and me having to build myself up from the ground up. It's one of the most rewarding experiences that I've had in a long time. So anyway, take it easy, folks. I'll check you later.